Well, what's up, everybody? We're back here on Bear Rock logging today. This is the original Bear Rock No Seasons one. We'll get back to that one in a little while, but I just want to kind of get a bit more work done on this one. And I think we left off last time. I was going to cut some more trees down, so why don't we do that? Well, not like that. Helps turn it on. We'll cut down a few more trees and then see if we can't get us a load out here today. Yeah, I really like cutting these spruce trees. I was working on the plantation last night, recording some more gameplay, and you'll see this whenever the next plantation time-lapse, the high gear clear comes out. But I got really frustrated with this machine right here because those old crooked pine trees, this machine here just does not cut them at all very well. You'll probably be lucky to get maybe one out of every 6 or 7 trees, maybe. I don't know if that's too high or not, but it sure seems like it's just, I don't know, this FTR head here just doesn't want to cut those old crooked pine trees. But I actually resorted to the chainsaw. But I've got the Northern Modding John Deere 959 fellow buncher, and what I'm planning on doing is, until they correct the controls on it, because it's nothing like this one here, I'm gonna start using Joy to Key and just map out my own key bindings to use for the the head rotation. That, see, it's backwards on the North Modding one, because on the North Modding, if I needed to turn the head like this on the FDR, I'm using my left and right joystick, or my left joystick and the top 2 buttons on my joystick for left and for right. Well, on the North Modding one, it's actually the right joystick and you tilt it left or right, which is the tilt up, down, back, forth, what do you want to call it, for the head on this machine. So it's backwards, and it's really annoying. And there's no way that I'm gonna train myself to use both machines with different controls, so I'm just gonna use Joy to Key and map them out until they either fix it or something happens with that. But anyway, I just haven't had time to sit down and think about, getting Joy to Key open and mapping them all out and stuff. I need to do that, because that machine's super nice. If you haven't checked that out and you're new to the game or something, then you might want to check out that North Modding John Deere 959 fellow buncher, because that thing is nice. Whenever you go up or down a hill, the cab auto levels. And it just really seems like it works really well, except for the controls are goofy. But see, that's what I'm talking about right there. Is every once in a while with some of these spruce trees, but like 1 out of every, or I guess 5 out of every 6 or something like that, trees with those stupid crooked pine trees, this machine right here just does not cut it. It's not cutting these because I've got them too high off the ground. One thing I guess I forgot to do it, but I just didn't really even think about it, was on these spruce trees, what I should have done was lower them into the ground just a little bit, like maybe half a meter or something, just so you could cut them off at the very bottom. And sometimes it will, like that one right there. Well, I guess I left a little bit of a stump, but most of the time it'll cut them off pretty good. But you'll get some of those trees every once in a while that are just you'll put the head against the bottom to cut it, and it just pushes you away. Because I didn't lower the trees enough into the ground. I have no idea where I'm at. Well, I think what I was going to do was... oh, it's a pretty good ways back there. Oh, there it is, finally. Golly, that's a long way back there. I was thinking about cutting all the way down this ridge till I got to here, and then kind of making this our boundary all the way back to the landing, but that's a good bit of area there. Yeah, I don't know. I may just come down this ridge and maybe go about halfway or something, and then cut over, because that's a lot of ground to cover. Anyway, we'll be moving pretty soon. Man, I hate it when it does that. You'll see over on the plantation when you watch the time lapse, there's one tree that kind of gets hung up in the grapples of this fellow buncher, and I'm kind of using one of the other trees that's still standing to kind of help knock it off, you know. Well, the tree goes flying somewhere. I had no idea where it went because I didn't see it when I looked around after after it flew out of the grapples. And I went to take a load to the sawmill, and I found the tree. It landed, I don't know, not quite halfway across the map, but it was pretty good ways over there. It's crazy. Alright, well, I can see the road that I plowed right to our left. So let me find us a good spot in here, because this might be, let's see, there, we can come down maybe to about here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to cut this tree right here, and this is going to be our stopping point where we're going to, I don't have access. Oh, that's right, that's right. I forgot again to purchase the land. Oh well. Yeah, see, it's starting to get weird on me again. I don't know. I think FTR's got a bit more work to do on this cutting head. I don't know, something's still off about it. See, it does pretty good sometimes, but other times it doesn't. That. Oh man, this thing gets hung up sometimes. It's like I'm using the triggers on my controller to move forward and backwards, and sometimes it yeah, it gets hung or something. I don't know. Like I'm letting off of the trigger, but the machine keeps going. And before I get too much further into the video, I want to make sure that I mention that this Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, that's 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. West Coast, I'm going to be doing a live stream. It's my first one in quite a while. I used to do live streams every once in a while, and then I kind of got away from it. But I've totally redid how all that's going to work, and I'm going to be testing it out hopefully sometime this week before we get there to make sure everything's working right. But it's going to be a pretty nice little stream, and we're going to be logging on the plantation. And so what I'll do is I'll make the video that we do on Thursday night be part of the the high gear clear thing. So I'll just kind of use that as my recording my gameplay. So we can come, just come hang out and chat with me, and we'll talk about, whatever, and I'll show off some, hopefully the North modding thing with the joy to key settings and all that. Have that going. The fellow buncher. Yeah, still too far. Well, I don't know if y'all can tell, but we've I feel like we kind of reached a plateau on mods for Farming Simulator 19. It just seems like nobody's putting out much right now. I don't know if it's, because summertime everybody's busy, or, school's about to go back in, or what all's going on, but, we had the whole seasons, which was really cool. Everybody got excited about the snow and the plows and all that stuff. And Wood Meadow Farms was working on all, it's been putting out the plow stuff for the snow, and but there just doesn't seem to be much else for logging right now. I mean, there's been a few little things, but just nothing of any significance, which I don't know, I guess I'm a pretty patient person, but really like to see some logging mods come out. We need a good bulldozer, need a motor grader. I mean, I don't know if people are releasing stuff and making it private or what, but we need some public release stuff. Yep, need a good dozer, maybe like a Cat, D8, or, well, I'd really like just like the little what was it, D6, I guess, that was in 17 that had the tiltable blade. That'd be cool to have. FDR's got his, but I mean that doesn't work on gravel and other things. It has to be it's a plow only, which I don't know, I guess somebody could maybe take that and do something with it, but I don't really like the look of FDR's little dozer. It's, I don't know, it's not very detailed, and I really like to see that little Cat D6 dozer converted over from 17. I use that thing all the time. And like I said, we still need a motor grader. I've seen some pictures where I think it was Wood Meadow Farms was working on converting theirs over, but I haven't seen anything yet. I haven't checked the Wood Meadow Farms webpage, although I follow him on Facebook, so I would assume that if he's going to release it, he'll announce it there. But so I haven't seen that yet. As far as logging equipment goes, I think, well, we're kind of set, I suppose. But I would like to see. Let's see, what do we need? Oh, I'd like to see a trailer-mounted loader. Doesn't have to have the delimber cutter thing on it, you know, cut to length, whatever. It just needs to be a loader mounted on a trailer. I'd like to see that. That's what we do down here. Down here in the south, you'll see that a lot, especially with smaller operations. The bigger operations, or one that's got a bit more money or whatever, you know, you'll see the track loaders and stuff. But jeez, get off of my thing. And so yeah, you'll see the track loaders. You won't see the big boys, whatever. I guess the big outfits running trailer mounted loaders too much, I guess. But maybe some, you know, that use like two. They'll have the truck back in between them, and then they'll be running two trailer mounted loaders. I think that would really come in handy on, well, just about any job really, but I mean, especially if you got like pine pulpwood or something. It takes a while to load that stuff, so having two loaders going makes that a lot better, a lot faster. Man, I just don't know about this fellow buncher head. This thing just is not working right. I think this is the very latest one from FDR, but it just, I don't know, something still ain't right about it. I'd also like to see a mod where you can run up to a tree and put a red X or something on it, or a red circle would be kind of cool. Because we had that mod in 17. I didn't use all that much because it seems like it conflicted with something. I had some kind of a conflict with it, but it worked pretty good. You know, you could just run up to a tree and hit a certain button, and it would put a big red X on the tree so you could kind of mark your boundaries and stuff. Kind of neat. But yeah, it just really kind of seems like here lately the mods for forestry have kind of stalled out. That one did not want to work right. Get off there. Yeah, and see, we can kind of use this trail we got plowed over here as a skid trail too. So I'm just going to kind of go down right next to this trail and cut all these trees that are close by. Yeah, I mentioned the live stream on Thursday. I'm gonna try to do every Thursday at the same time, see how that goes. I think there's gonna be maybe a time or two where I won't be able to make it on Thursday nights. I know my wife wants to go see something here in town on, say it's like middle of September, but it falls on a Thursday. So, you know, if something like that comes up, we maybe can do it some other time, or just reschedule. Oh my gosh, these stupid trees. Totally blocking my path. But anyway, I talked about in the past trying Thursday nights, because that's, my wife has rehearsal with her singing group on Thursday nights, so I've kind of got some free time there. So I think Thursday nights will be pretty good. It's just if I can stick to it. But we'll try it and see how it goes, and try to stick to every Thursday night. Be live stream login night. So I think what I'm going to do for the rest of the video is let's just cut all the way back up to the landing, and when we get there, let's hop in the dozer skidder thing and get some of these trees drug up, because I don't want to take the time right now to hop out of the game and back in and purchase some land. I know there's a way to do it in the cheats, but I don't remember what it is, and so I'm just going to we'll finish cutting this up to the landing, and we'll skid a bunch of stuff up, and then we'll make a stockpile back behind that pile of skidded up trees, and then I'll make sure, remember for next time, to actually purchase this land so we can do something with it, and then we'll be ready to go. I did work a little bit on the next map some last night, so got a bit more done on it, and well, I tell you, like I've said before, I think I'm done with 4X maps. No more for me. Just way too much work to do on them things. So sorry if you're fans of 4X maps, but make sure you play this one pretty heavily. And I am going to be announcing the name of this new map here pretty soon. I told my patrons that are following me over there that, you know, of course, if you follow me on Patreon, you get insider access to all the maps, you know, what I'm working on, screenshots, updates more frequently on the maps, you know, stuff like that. And I told my patrons that probably here in the next week or so I'm going to be announcing the name of the map. And I really do that, I don't know, I guess it's just sort of a paranoia thing. I don't announce my map names right away, just because I don't want anybody else taking my idea, and if they've already had a map in the works or something, you know, I mean, I hope nobody would do that, but just to be on the safe side, I don't announce my map names until I'm pretty far along with them. Come on, get off there. Because, you know, there's people out there in this world that don't have any respect for anybody or care about anything, and they're only out there for themselves, and so that's what I'm trying to avoid, is somebody who, I don't know, I don't guess I have anybody that's I would consider an enemy out there in the farming simulator world, but you never know. But that should be coming pretty soon, within the next week or two. I want to put a bit more work into it. Of course, it's still just staggering the amount of work that needs to be done on that map. I know I'm trying to be too detailed with this map when it's not really. I mean, there's no town, there's no, you know, buildings to speak of. All the buildings that are on there are already done. Now it's just, you know, left placing trees and bushes and grass and rocks and stuff like that that's going to make the map look super awesome. But it's just every time I start to think about it, I kind of get discouraged as to how much there's left to do on it. But, you know, I go in cycles. I'll go, you know, a month or two where I'm just gung-ho trying to get this map done kind of attitude, and then there's other times where I look at it and go, I just don't want to work on that today. That's everything, you know. But it'll get finished, and hopefully get finished pretty soon. I need to kind of start thinking about, you know, when do I want to release this thing? When do I want to have it finished by? Start setting myself some goals so I can get it done. Because I'm already starting to work on the map after this next map. I've got a really good idea for something, kind of something I've been wanting to do for a while. And it's going to be a pretty cool looking map, I think, if I can pull it off. And like I said, this next map after the next one, map number 2 after this next one, will be, as far as I know, nobody's ever done this in Farming Simulator, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how it turns out and what the reaction is. Did it again. Yep, did it again. This is crazy. I'm using an Xbox controller, but for some reason it hangs. I don't think it's the controller, I think it's the game itself. Alright. So all that over there is a bit steep, so I think I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm probably gonna use a chainsaw on some of that, unless I start using the North modding fellow buncher and it works better on the steeper terrain, then I'll use that if it cuts well. I mean, I'm not even sure, you know, how it cuts compared to this thing. I think what I'm gonna do tonight is get my Joy to Key set up. So when we come back on Wednesday, I'll try to do probably this video again here, this or this map here, Bare Rock, so we can kind of compare. You know, how that machine works versus what this one does. Alright, well, since we can't use the processor until I purchase this land, and I'm too lazy right now to log out and go buy the land, let's just skid it up with this dozer. Get a bunch of trees, skid it up to the landing, and then in fact, I'm gonna hop out of here. Let's move this out of the way so we can actually get some stuff drug up here and get this out of the way. Yeah, if you watched my testing the cat video from Wilhelmina Forest on Monday, you saw where I was talking about FDR released his Caterpillar 535D wheeled cable skidder, not the this dozer. This is the D6, I think. Yeah. And I was a little bit disappointed that all he did was take this winch off the back of this thing and kind of stick it on the back of the skidder. He didn't even bother to, you know, make a custom little arch or something for the wheeled cable skidder. Which I guess, you know, hey, it's fine, whatever. But would have been nice if he'd actually taken the time to make something that looked nice, instead of just sticking the winch thing on there. So let's get these. We're pretty close, so I'm not going to worry about getting any more attached on there. Let's just pull these up here. Yeah, I'm really wondering how in the world North Modding even got that equipment on console, because maybe nobody's really tried much, but I don't remember anything from Farming Simulator 17 where the console players actually had track machines. Alright, what is this? What is going on here? Why can't I hit Shift B to unattach that? I forgot to hit G to switch attachments. So here's something I've been seeing a lot on Facebook pages and stuff, is people complaining about their game. When they go to, you hit escape and the game saves, you know, the little red thing goes around and around and finally it saves. If it gets hung, most likely you have Courseplay activated, is my guess. So if you're trying to play any of my maps or whatever, I've had it happen to me on the plantation, and I think also here on Bear Rock, if I had Courseplay activated, and it may be a mod conflict, but if the game just hangs and never saves, then most likely it's got something to do with Courseplay, which is why I'm not using it anymore on my maps. I need to check and see if they got an update put out and test, because it's really frustrating when you play, you know, for an hour or more, and then all of a sudden you go to exit and you hit save and the game doesn't save and you lost all that work. And from my experience, even if you've got the game set to auto-save, if you've got Courseplay activated and it causes a problem, even the auto-save doesn't work. That's what happened. If you watched High-Speed Login or the High Gear Clear number, the one before, well, no, I guess it would be the one I just put out. I guess that's number 6. Anyway, the one that just came out recently. You'll see I was doing some planting. Well, actually, I had planted that whole field, that cutover. I planted the whole thing, and then I went to hit save, and Courseplay decided it was going to act stupid, and I lost that whole thing. Had to redo the whole thing. Had to replant all that stuff I just planted. Come on, trees. kind of worked out okay anyway, because unhook that. And let's get these other two back here. I kind of like that FDR actually made it to where when you hit the Z key, it's really fast. And then if you need to do precise work, you can just hit the shift key. I like that, because that way you don't have to worry about holding down the shift key to make it go faster. You just hit the shift key whenever you need it to go a little slower when it gets towards the machine. It's a bit easier, I think, than holding down the shift to make it go fast. So I do like that part of this winch dozer. And overall, I got no problems, I guess, with this winch dozer. It does work very well. It pulls a lot. And I could probably hook up 3 or 4 times as many trees as this, and it would pull just no problem. Probably not realistic, but it sure is nice on this game. Playing a game, it's alright. Have to tint the windows, so that looked pretty cool, wouldn't it? I mean, there's no person in there anyway. You can't really see in there, or you wouldn't need to see in there. I may just black them things out. That looked pretty sweet. Alright, let's go get us another, try to get us a pretty big turn here of some trees back this way, and then what I want to do is we'll finally take the skidder back to the shop, and I'm probably gonna, I don't know, I guess I could just sell the thing from here. I need to get my low boy back there to the shop anyway, because when I do purchase that North modding, get the jointed key stuff all set up, I'm going to start using that if it works pretty well. I'm going to test it first over on my test game save. I've got a Bear Rock login actually where I've modded in like, you know, I don't know, like $50 million or something just to have some money to play with, and I'm going to see if that thing works pretty good over there. If it does, then we'll have no problems over here. So since I'm getting some more subscribers and everything since the last time I asked this, let me ask you this question, and hope y'all would leave a comment below. But is the 1 hour format working pretty good for everybody? I mean, would you like to see them a little shorter? It's just, I feel like whenever I do like 30-minute videos or something, it just always feels like we never get anything done, you know, like I can't even get a bunch of trees cut, skidded, processed, and to the mill in 30 minutes, it seems like. So I kind of like myself doing the hour just because I feel like we get a lot done, but I know everybody's, you know, probably doesn't watch the whole video anyway when it's an hour, but I don't know. Just what's your thoughts on that? Leave me some comments below and let me know if you would like to see the videos, you know, a little shorter, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes? Would you like to see them stay at an hour? I don't know, just whatever you think. Just leave me a comment, let me know, and I will certainly, you know, kind of take that and think about it. But you know, like I said, I kind of like the 1 hour format just because I feel like we're getting a lot done. And I understand everybody's probably not watching all hour of the video, but I just think for right now that's kind of working pretty good. Yeah, so let's hop in this lowboy truck over here and let's get the skidder hauled back to the shop, and then we'll have the lowboy there ready to go whenever we do finally get the north modding thing. Is that even strapped on? Yeah, I guess it is. I've got another truck too I want to switch to, maybe for doing our heavy hauling. I've got a Western Star truck that looks really sweet that I haven't even tested out yet. Plus we got our, well actually no, I tested this trailer with the Kenworth C500. It doesn't work very well. The trailer's interferes with the back of the truck's area somehow. Oh, the attach point's too far forward. I don't know if it's, I don't think that thing's adjustable. I'll have to look and see. Oh yeah, forgot about this. Also, I was looking on Steam yesterday, and the Lumberjack simulator, it looks like it's going to be released fairly soon, the first version of this game. It said Q3 of 2019, so that's, you know, we're right in the middle of it, so should be coming up pretty soon. I'm going to purchase that, and I'm going to test it out, do some gameplay on it here, make some videos. I suspect that Well, I've been kind of watching it, and I'm not terribly impressed at the moment. However, I feel like for this one guy who's come this far with that game, I think it's really going places, and I think we're going to see what we all kind of wish for, which is a Farming Simulator Spin Tires mashup. I think that's what we're going to see. Although I'm not impressed yet with I guess the terrain a little bit, and I'm not sure how it's going to work with, selling the logs and stuff. I would assume that he's going to have some sell points or a sell point, maybe a lumber mills or something somewhere, sawmill. But I don't know. I'll just keep an open mind and see how it goes, because I am interested in that game because I think it has a lot of potential. I've said for a long time that it would be nice to have some sort of a farming simulator spin tires mashup, so where the terrain actually has something to do with the game. I mean, that's real life, But what I'd like to see, instead of him just saying, "Oh, it's muddy all the time," is have the terrain kind of be dynamic with the weather. But I don't know if that's even possible. Like if it rains, then it gets really muddy and your tires sink and that sort of stuff. But then whenever it dries out, it's then it's I don't know if that's even possible. That would be my ideal game. Although there are some areas, I guess, if you made the game in like a kind of a swampy area or something where it could be muddy all the time, but I just think it would be that extra level of realism if you could make it to where the weather has something to do with the terrain. That may be wishful thinking. But I will be purchasing Lumberjack Simulator when it comes out and playing it, giving my thoughts, and it's probably going to be along the lines, I hope, of Farming Simulator, where it just keeps getting better and better. Like maybe he'll come out with Lumberjack Simulator 2 and have some improvements and just keep moving the game forward. But we'll see what happens. I've been in on that game since about the very inception of it. I remember some people talking about it. I went and checked out and actually downloaded oh gosh, it was like one of the early, or if not the very first, beta versions of the game. It had just some simple little, I think it may have had a skidder and the wheeled fellabuncher in there. I gave the guy some thoughts, on the game, and told him, hey, you got the wheeled fellabuncher, it's too fast, you need to slow it down. These things only go like 8-9 miles an hour maybe, something like that. And he did. He slowed it down a good bit. But the thing that still kind of bothers me a bit about it, just looking at the previews, and there may not be anything he can do about it, is when you cut the tree, it doesn't look round. I mean, even the Farming Simulator trees here don't look round, but at least they look a little better than what I saw. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where it could be a limitation of the game. I know circles are tough, to model. Because I mean, even look at the pins or whatever you want to call them right here on this grapple. That's not round. It's some sort of a multi-part circle. I'm not sure what do you call it. It's not an octagon or hexagonal. It's more than that. Sextagonal. I don't know. Is that a word? And we don't have much money to buy that North Modding Company John Deere either, but if I sell some stuff, we might be able to get it. And I'll make sure I'm far enough away from that. Let's see, what can we sell? know I saw a truck. Well, that's not much money. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use that skidder anymore. Let's just go ahead and sell that thing. And I don't think I'm going to be using longs. Let's sell that. We got our truck now. We don't need that little side-by-side thing, so let's sell that. Okay. That gives us almost enough money. I think if I sell something else, like I want to figure out which one that is. We don't need two of those. Plus, I want to use. Actually, I want to use a different trailer. We got the. Yeah, see that truck right there? Well, that's alright, guys. I'll tell you what, real quick, let's drive this. Yep, went to the wrong side. Let's get this truck up and out of here. And we're going to dump this wood chips, and then we'll sell this trailer and the other trailer too. And we got the spread axle 100,000 liter trailer I want to use instead of this one. Not really using that truck and trailer either, but I may do something else with that too. But I think selling these wood chips and the two trailers, I think will get us enough for sure to buy the North Modding fella bunch. I think it's just over 500,000. We'll look here in a minute. Yeah, 500,000 on the dot. So we got enough right now to buy it. And I'll mod in some money to purchase the land where we're at. And then hopefully next time we'll make a few loads to the sawmill. I'll try to, maybe if I get some time, I'll try to purchase the land and process some of that wood, because that's kind of boring. I wish you could hire a worker to process your logs. Just get the trees in a certain zone and then have the processor pick them up and process them into whatever length you want. That'd be awesome. I think processing is one of the more boring parts of the whole game, the forestry side of it. This is where I would have loved to have Courseplay. Could have just made this thing set off and take off on its own. I'm gonna go see if they've got any updates out here in the next. I haven't checked in about a week or two. I wonder if they've updated that at all. I have to go check. If you go to well, if you just Google Courseplay for Farming Simulator 19. You'll probably find one of two things. You'll probably find either the Courseplay homepage, the web page, or you'll find the what is it, github.com or get.hub or something. I forget what it is now. That's where the actual files are. Of course, you can't get to it from the I believe their web page, but if you search GitHub, that's GITHUB, and then Courseplay FS19 or something like that, you'll probably find what I'm talking about. And that's where the source code is. And if you look there, you'll see all the files they have listed. And just look at the dates, because some of them might say, you know, several months ago, and then some of them might say like within a couple of days or something. Those are the ones you want to grab and copy and paste in there, or just download the whole thing, because that means they've updated it here recently. And I need to go check that and see, because I'd love to be able to use Courseplay again, because, you know, mostly what I use it for, in fact, about 90-something% of what I use it for is just driving vehicles from point A to point B. And I don't understand why it won't work. It's got to be some kind of conflict with either the map or the game files themselves or something. I don't know, but I sure hope they could figure it out, because I don't want to play my game for an hour or two and then lose all that work. Testing the brakes out. Trying to go fast and trying not to tump this thing over. I don't think the wood chips will spill out, but I'd rather not find out. I don't think they will. I still haven't fixed those supports. I need to move them closer. I still haven't moved this wood chip pile. Oh my goodness. I need to start making a list of everything I gotta do on this map. Alright, so there's a little bit more money. And once we sell these trailers, we'll be good. I'll purchase that John Deere Fellabuncher. I think it's the 959, I believe it is. And I'm pretty sure we'll have enough money to also buy the other wood chip trailer. Oh yeah, plenty of money. Alright everybody, well I'm out of time today. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again on Friday. No, Thursday. Yes, Thursday, the live stream. Thursday night we'll be doing the live stream at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, and 5 Western or Pacific. And so I hope y'all can come over and hang out for a while and chat. We'll be doing a bit of logging over on the plantation. And yeah, we'll see you then. Or if not, we'll see you Friday. So, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.